everybody, my name is Tracy and I am the Practical Prepper, and today I'm going to take you into Lowe's and we're going to go shopping for survival supplies, things you might need in a case of an emergency. You want to get them now before you need them, because if there's an emergency, all this stuff is going to be cleared off the shelves. So you need to really have these things in your possession now before anything happens, and then you will be set and you will be so happy. So let's go inside and take a look at what you can get at Lowe's to improve your survival supplies. All right, see you in there. All right, here we go. Let's get some shopping done. Of course you need seeds, and I recommend learning how to grow food before you need to grow food. There's so much involved in gardening that I'd say just buy a couple of these and plant them in a pot if that's all you have, and just start. This is an excellent skill to develop. Okay, right from the get-go, we've got baking soda, borax, and this super washing soda, laundry booster. These are great for making all different types of cleaning products for all different types of things. These are just basics you should have. And even this OxiClean is really good to have around. These items last forever and they can do so many things. So here's some bleach. It looks like it is unscented, which is what we want. Bleach can clean your water and it can do many other things. It's $9.48 for a gallon. This is great to have in your supplies. And if you guys don't know about Folex is a carpet spot remover, but I use it for clothes and people use it for all kinds of things, and it is awesome. We got Dawn Platinum here for $5.98. If you guys haven't tried this, I recommend you do. You could use it for so many different things. It's not great for long-term storage, but it's great for just regular cleaning. So you're going to need some propane tanks at your house. Now, usually I get the smaller ones, but I'm seeing here they have this one that is very large today. It is $249, but it is a 100-pound propane tank. That is awesome. So the next thing I see here is a barbecue. There's all different price ranges and types. You can get whatever type you like and spend however much you want. This is just an alternative cooking method, and everybody needs something like this, or possibly a camp stove. Here's some utensils for cooking on your barbecue. You need those as well. These are not the cheapest ones in the world, but you can get them here if you like. I think the dollar store has cheaper ones, but these might be heavier duty. Here is a camp stove that they sell. This is $159, so there are cheaper ones out there as well. And with these, you might need propane tanks. These small propane tanks, they go with certain alternative cooking methods, so just make sure it's the right type that fits what you have. But these are a great thing that you can buy at Lowe's. This is a set for $12.98 of 2. You need to get as many of these as you can stack if you don't have the larger tank. Here's charcoal. If you have a charcoal cooking method, you're going to need to stock up on that. This is great because it doesn't rely on gas or electricity. You can just use charcoal. An old-fashioned charcoal barbecue grill would be great, or if you have the ability to make a little fire around, you can. And here's some different ways to start a fire. If you're going to use a fire method, you're going to need several different ways to possibly start a fire. Would be good to have. Even some little kindling right here. This is a really great way to start a fire as well. Here's a Blackstone. I don't know if I should call it a barbecue or just an outdoor cooking setup. This one has 4 different burners. It's a completely flat top, so it's just a different sort of outdoor way to cook. It runs on propane just like other barbecues might, and there's different sizes and price ranges, so you can find what works for you. But I would love to have one of these. I don't. They're kind of expensive. It's $4.49 for the smaller one. I believe it's $5.49 for this larger one here, so they're a little pricey. I wasn't really expecting to see spices and stuff here at Lowe's, but they have all these large containers of different spices that are about $9. Some of them are $6, and that helps keep your food from getting boring. And if you guys could hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. And here's a spray bottle for, I believe it's a little over $3. They have these at the dollar store for less, but you know that this might be a little bit better quality. It's worth checking out. Yeah, $3.98 for one bottle. They have the pink Zote here. Now, the pink Zote is a little bit different. It's a laundry bar, but it's got some extra additives in it for brightening and whitening, but I like the plain better, but I'm going to try this. Here are some rubber gloves. These are great to have for so many different reasons. This is a bit thicker pair of sort of dishwashing gloves. There are some thinner sort of gloves that they have here as well. I'll take a look around for those, but this is good to have on hand for so many different things. And here's a less expensive one for $1.98, so you can just pick up a cheap pair if you would like. And here's some nitrile gloves. These are great for so many different reasons beyond medical uses. There's just sanitation uses, first aid if you're cleaning a wound, or you could even use this as like a water balloon or fill it up with water if you have nothing else. The list goes on and on. Okay, so the next thing I found are these cleaning cloths. They are extremely cheap. They're like $4 and something, and these are 100% cotton, and they are super lightweight. And honestly, I think you could use these as an alternative to toilet paper. If toilet paper were to disappear and you just had something like this and a bidet, you would be set. Here are some large contractor bags that are really strong. These are $19.78 for this box of, it looks like 24. Get the strong type, the heavy duty like these. There are so many uses, from shelter to rain jackets to carrying things to sanitation. There's just endless uses. So I'm looking around for something that we all need right now. These buckets at Lowe's are a great price. They are $4.58 for the bucket and $2.28 for the lid. You're going to use these for long-term food storage. This is a really good price. You do not need food grade. Just think of this as the outer shell, and you're going to use Mylar bags inside that are food grade to protect your food, and this is just sort of to protect the bag that things are stored in. So this is a good price to buy these online. These are super expensive anywhere I've seen them, so get these here. And they have all kinds of other sizes of buckets and lids that you could use for other items that you want to store. And if the 5-gallon is too big, you can get a smaller size bucket that would be easier to move around. They also have these heavy-duty storage totes, and these are great if you want to put several smaller Mylar bags of food items that you want to store for long term. These would protect all those bags. Like, let's say you do quart size or gallon size bags and you want to put a whole bunch of them in here. This is a great way to protect them and keep them dry, and I would get a few of these if you are doing that type of storage. And then, of course, if you are prepping a bunch of canned foods, you need somewhere to put them. And this heavy-duty shelving is $159, and this is quite large. This is a good size. You could get a few of these depending on how much space you have, but this is just a way to have a place to stack all those cans that's relatively inexpensive if you don't already have something in your house. And here for $84.98, there is a smaller one if you have a smaller space. Once again, that smaller shelving unit would work. So now I'm looking for a general sort of toolkit. This here is $59. This is not really the kind that I'm looking for you guys, so maybe I'll add that in here with what I have. So here's the basic tool chest that I have. It's just a general set of tools that can solve most of your problems that you might have at home. And these are just really basic items, wrenches, measuring tape, pliers, socket wrench, hammer, that type of stuff. You need to learn how to use these items, and if you do, it will help you with most of your basic problems that you might run into at home. Here is a fire extinguisher, the set of 2 for $34.98. Everybody needs this in case of a fire in your house. That is an emergency we could all face. Zip ties of all sizes and shapes and colors are super useful for so many different things. I can't even list them all. This is something you could get here. This one's $26.23 for a large pack, but if you want to get a smaller pack, there's some smaller packs that you can get that are like $4 or $5. And duct tape, again, has so many uses for $7.98. This is a very large thing of duct tape that you should have in your possession. And wires. There are so many uses for wires. You should have several different types of these in your possession. You could repair a fence or a gate or a hinge or even your glasses. I recommend getting different sizes for different items. And don't forget to leave a comment below about your favorite thing to buy at Lowe's. We'd love to hear about it. And here's some super glue gel by Gorilla. Looks like this is the brand. I don't care what brand it is, but some kind of super glue. It has so many uses. You need to have some of this in your stock. And this next video is terrible. I forgot to take the right part, but this is a lantern for about $32. It's 1500 lumens and way better than many of the ones I've seen on Amazon. And here we have a very fancy, expensive bidet toilet seat for $298. There are cheaper options out there, but this one has all these fancy buttons and adjustments you can make, and the nozzle moves. And if we run out of toilet paper, this is something that you might wish that you had in your house and were already used to using. And I would recommend looking into these, but maybe a cheaper version. On to other items. Let's get away from the toilets. Okay. Here is a freezer, a standalone freezer. It's rather wide and low. There are some newer styles of stand-up freezers that I'd look into, but this one here is $551 if you're still interested in this type. But I don't know. I think I like the stand-up. Okay, let's go roam around until we find these stand-up freezers. Now this is obviously a bigger purchase. Here they are. They're about $5.99 to $8.99, I think. Different sizes and styles here. This is definitely for your more, intermediate to advanced prepper. I know that, but if you're in that range, think about it. If you're not and you have the money and the space, go for it as well. If you're a beginner, don't make yourself do this yet. Maybe that's a bit much for you right now. Don't worry about that. And on my way out, I see they have these 5-gallon water bottles that you can refill. So you can buy them, refill them, and then return them. It's just a great way to start your water storage. If you don't have any, just maybe get a few of these to have around, and then you'd have 10 or 15 gallons before you know it pretty easily. Okay, well, I'm finished shopping in Lowe's, and I really geared that shopping trip towards the newer prepper because there are so many things in there that you could buy. You could build an entire house with what's inside there and maybe get everything you would ever need to repair everything in your house and around your house. So the items I focused on were really for the newer prepper. If there's something that you would get at Lowe's or let's see, Home Depot or Dixie Line or your local hardware store, please leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear what those items are. It would help us all out. There's just so many things in there. We couldn't do everything in this one video, but I hope this helps you sort of have an idea of a start of what you can get. And I've got to make this quick because it is hot in my car right now and I can't turn the air on or it's going to make a bunch of noise. I'll see you in the next video. Hey, if you enjoyed that video, I thought you might like to check out this video next. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll see you next time.